Hello and welcome to the video for web design, week 16, Wednesday. So today what we're going to talk about is an article that I posted on the website last week, how to create a compelling landing page. A landing page is any page where a user can land on your website, and the page is designed in such a way that it tries to elicit a certain response from that user. In most cases, to create something we call a conversion. Now, a conversion is when the user takes some sort of action that you want them to take. Um, the probably the best type of conversion is when they purchase something. That's called a conversion. They've taken their money, and they've purchased your product, and so the conversion has taken place, which is they're trading their money for your product. Um, Now, other types of conversions can happen too. For example, you might want somebody, the purpose of your landing page might be to get someone to sign up for your email newsletter. And that type of conversion can help you too, because having a large email list means you can send out a lot of messages when you put products out, and then a certain percentage of those people will buy those products. So, that can help with your cash conversions as well. So I reposted the link to the article, and I've got it right here as well. How to create a compelling landing page, and in the article they talk about, they've done some research and they found out that um, companies that have over 30 landing pages, which sounds like a lot, will generate 7 times more leads than those with fewer than 10. So what that means is, contrary to the standard belief that a website has, like 5 different sections or 5 different pages or whatever, um, and that's it is belied by the fact that you can put up as many pages on your website as you want. And in this case, if you put up a bunch of landing pages, the statistics are that you're going to get a lot more leads. Now, landing pages can be pages that just kind of exist on your website, and they don't even necessarily have to be in the drop down menu. They could just be portals, if you will, ways that people can get into your site. And the key with these landing pages is to have them be very specific, focus on a very specific type of conversion, and then load them up with keywords and other things that will get people to find them in search engines. So, as we go through the article, they talk about, you know, what is, what is a landing page? It's where users land when they click in a link or in search results, or in an email or an ad. So they talk about the different types of conversion, a call to action, which is what you put on the page, what you want somebody to do, like subscribe to a newsletter or contact you or purchase something, right? They also talk about sort of the dark side of the internet. There's some techniques called dark patterns. And this is let's see what this links to. Uh, Yet another article, this one a little video about dark patterns. This would be worth watching, because dark patterns are sort of nefarious ways that people get you to do things sort of not really against your will, but sort of subconsciously, that benefit them and maybe not advantageous to you. So check that out, because it'd be good to know for your own personal life and you know, any purchases that you make online, but also just because you want to avoid doing these type of things in your web design work. Um, so they say, how do you avoid dark patterns? The answer lies in a combination of a clear focus, compelling copy, considered design, and relentless testing. Now they say it's tempting to leap straight into creating your own landing page. However, before we begin, we must have a clear focus, and that starts with defining our value proposition. Okay, so we can come down here a little bit. Okay, so what is a value proposition? It says when a user arrives on your landing page, you have less than 8 seconds to grab their attention. That means the first step in creating any compelling landing page is to understand what it is that the page will offer and how you can express that compellingly and concisely. This is typically known as a value proposition. Start by writing a single sentence that communicates what it is you are offering to the user. This sentence should consist of 2 parts: what problems you are solving or benefits you provide, and how you achieve that. For example, Skype's value proposition is Skype makes it easy to stay in touch, talk, chat, collaborate. The first part outlines what benefit it provides, while the second explains how it delivers. Okay, so I've been working on this Wildcord website and using as an example to demonstrate techniques and things to you guys. So I'm going to go back to that website right now, and I'm going to take this page that I've been making. You'll recall that I have a home page here, and the goal is really to get you to click this reddish button and find out about this game, right? And so on this page, which by the way I decided on the Envira gallery, and what I did was there was a second column over here, and I just right-clicked on it and deleted it so that this text would go all the way across. I like that better. And then I have the Envira gallery under here, which I can clean up. I can once again put the text image gallery over the top of this. I can still make it two columns if I want, and put it over here to the right with more text, or I can have it just be sort of down here below the text. But I like just having it there so I can move it around and put it wherever I want. But anyway, going up here, this is the page. You might consider this a landing page that I'm creating here, where my goal is to sell users on this game. So as I mentioned to you in an earlier video, I'm signing up for a convention, online gaming convention here, Con of Champions. And the idea is I've got two games now actually that are in the convention. They're both games that exist in this Wildcord universe. One of them is called Skyrose, of course, and the other is called Dragonhearth. And so that means I'm going to have to put information about both of those on this website. Which, once again, I know it's dizzying how often I make these changes and stuff, but once again, it means I'm probably going to change this from Skyrose back to Wildcord, because Wildcord is the name of the gaming system. And over the last couple weeks, I've been talking about just promoting this one game, but it became available to promote more than one game. So what that means is that this should really say Wildcord, which is the gaming system, especially here on the front page. And then when it says, learn more, then you'll get to this landing page, and we'll talk about both games, Skyrose Castle and also Dragonhearth. And then the goal of this, well, there's a couple goals actually. The primary goal, at least now in the short term, is to be able to put a link to this page on the convention page, so that people will sign up for the game. Because right now the games are being offered for free, and the convention is about in a month. It's in late May. But if nobody really knows about your game, they haven't heard about it, why would they sign up for it? So, the purpose of this page is to incentivize people to sign up for the game, which means it should talk prominently about the convention, and there should be links back to that. But also, as sort of a secondary goal, there should be an email sign-up form on this page to get people to sign up to learn more about, when the game is available, maybe as a board game, or when digital versions are available, things like that. So, I'm going to put this together in kind of a piecemeal fashion, just putting little pieces of it together and then cleaning them up, fixing them up. But let's start with sort of the obvious, which is, once again, changing this information right here to a different logo. So what I'll do, I'll go back here to the back end of the website, go to Pages, and we've been through this before, so we know how this stuff works. So let's see, edit with Elementor on the home page. Fortunately, now this is why it's a good idea to keep your graphics, certain graphics, in your media library instead of trashing them. Once you've made the decision to take them off, because you could come back and change your mind. It saves you a little time. So you can see that I did three different versions of the Wildcord logo, changing the size on each one, And by the way, the one that's closest to, I guess I would say the top left, is always the last one you uploaded. So that's the one that I like the best. So, I could easily go in and delete these two, and I should, and all this other junk that I don't need. But things like this, which is the final version of the Wildcore logo, this, which is the final version of the Skyrose logo, this, which is the final version of that top picture, you keep your final versions because they're the ones that worked, and everything else you can kind of trash. But anyway, I'm going to insert this one. I'm going to update it, and then let's see. If I now exit to my dashboard, I also have to put it on that page which is currently called Skyrose Castle, because once again it's about this game system, Wild Chord, and Skyrose Castle is just one of the games. So once again, same process, pretty quick and easy and painless, and there we go. Okay, so what this means for this page, it means a couple things. One thing is, the page is currently called Skyrose Castle, so maybe I would change this to something like games. Now you can, obviously you're free to change your mind whenever you want about things, but I'm going to change it to games as just sort of a placeholder thing right now, and then I can always come back and change it again. So I clicked on the menus. Rolled over the drop down and went to the menu section. This is it here. Now, even though this is linked to a page called Skyrose Castle, in your menu, you can open the actual menu up and you can change what's called the navigation menu. And this is the link that shows up. And so if I click this, and then I go back to the website, so now it just says games. So if I click on that, and now we're still seeing Wild Chord up at the top there, and of course that's the name of the website. So that's the name of the gaming system. So now we know that there's going to be at least 4 sections on this that we know of. 5 actually. The first would be, in my mind, a section that explains what Wild Chord is, and as the article said, this article over here explains or defines the value proposition. So that would be very, very concisely describing what Wild Chord is. And then there would be a section that would define the Skyrose game, a section that would define the other game, which is called Dragonhearth. Then there would be, okay, now I'm up to 6 sections. There would probably be an image gallery for each, so one for this and one for Dragonhearth, and then the last component would be the contact form, and of course one more component would be a link to the convention to learn more about it. So what I can do is I can put in little placeholders for these sections, and then come back in and fill them in with content later. So let's see. So we got the front end over here and the back end of the page here. I can scroll down here. So let's see. I've got, where's that Enviro gallery? Is this it right here? If I click on that, what's happening? Nothing. Yeah, it's very strange. Oh, I'm pretty sure, I'm dead certain this is the Enviro gallery, which is pretty weird that it's not coming up. But that's got to be it, because what else is on this page, right? There's that, and then the Enviro gallery. I think the reason I can't get to it right now is because I did something weird here. There was way too much space between this and here, and so on this particular thing, oh, I know what I have to do. I have to right click and do edit column. Okay. Let's see. Well, that's the column, but that's not the content. Yeah, so this is, obviously a little weird. All that's in here is a, that information that brings that shortcode that brings the Enviro gallery up. But because I brought this, I used some code over here, the margin top, and I put it in to a negative number, which raised this thing up so that it was closer to this. But when I did that, it had an unintended consequence, where I'm not able to see it now. Let's see. advanced. Yeah. So if you look in here, let's see. Huh. It looks like it's not really showing up very easily, so I'm not sure what's going on there. Okay. Let me just figure this out real quick so we can move on. Okay, so I think I figured out the problem here. If I click around here somewhere, there we go. You see that this Enviro Gallery stuff comes up here, and you can see that's what's bringing in the gallery. And if I go over here to advanced, the problem is that, see how I have this negative 96 in here? That has brought this up super high, but it's also made it sort of invisible. So let me see if I put this back to 0 and sort of update it. If that makes it any easier to get to that section, the Enviro section. Yeah, there it is. See how now it's popping up down in here? So in other words, it was here. It was located in this box, but because I put negative 96 in there for the top margin, that negative moves it up, positive moves it down. It effectively brought the gallery up a lot, but it also made it impossible basically to work on. So what that means is, that's a pretty good argument for once again putting this thing back into a side column here, doing a 2-column layout, because it's such a pain in the butt to work with. Because you can see if we go back to the page here and just refresh it, now this, look how big the gap is there, and that's kind of unacceptable. So we really don't want that. So, when we get to the point where we're formatting this gallery, we'll put it in a 2-column layout. We might be able to just put it back where it was, really. Let's see if we can do that kind of thing. So it should be fairly easy to do that. If we roll over this Skyro section here and we click on this layout thing here, we can right-click on this little layout icon and we can do Add New Column. And sure enough, it's going to go ahead and put a second column there. Now, all we have to do there, we can go down here, try and locate this Enviro Gallery thing here. We can copy this short code, which is what brings in the gallery, and then go back to our widgets and drag in basically a text widget over here, and then replace that text with, oops, let's see, my session has expired, okay. And then just replace that text with the Enviro Gallery. Oops, what the heck? Okay, strangeness. I was pretty sure I copied that, but that's okay. All right, so we grab it all here, we right click, we copy. Okay, we go over here, there's a text thing over here, which you can't seem to find. Here we go, paste. God, I don't understand that. I've copied it several times, and it's not copying, so kel drag, right? All right, let's go over here to content. Okay, let's use the copier in the actual browser itself. Edit column. I want some text in here, please. There we go. Okay, now let's try pasting it in with the browser. Yay! Something actually worked. Okay. So now we've got that there. We got this column here, which I don't know. I guess I can leave it there. That's kind of a voodoo column, though. It's giving me a lot of trouble, so I'm not really crazy about it. But we can always leave it there and put some stuff in it. So I'm clicking my preview now, and once again, now we have the the Skyros Castle and this stuff here. Okay, so one other thing I want to do, going back to what we had done before, is, let's see, I want this to show up, which would be nice. Click on the text editor and drag it over here and try and put it above that column that has the gallery in it, and just write type the text image gallery. So that people will know, that stuff is clickable. Now, I can use this model of this two-column layout here to do both Skyrose and Dragonhearth. So, yeah, this column is just bugging me, so I'm just going to kill it. Goodbye. Okay, thank you for playing. All right, so let's see. What can we do here? Duplicate. What happens if I press duplicate? Oh, well, that's not what I want. Basically, well, all I really need to do is create a new column down here, a new two-column layout. So let's see. If we click this intersection and drag it down here, here it is, and there it is. It's got a little two-column layout for us right away. So then in this section here, we can drag in a text area, text editor. Okay, we've got some content in there. And then just for now, we could grab this text. Some of you may like to work differently. You may like to actually put, the real text in where it should go. We'll see if this paste buffer works. No, see, it never works. Now it's pasting the Enviro Gallery thing in there. The way that I'm working right now is I'm basically putting placeholders everywhere, and then I go back in and fill stuff up with what I want. Okay, I didn't do that correctly because I don't trust the copy in this program. It's not working for me, so the only thing to trust is the copy of the browser. But anyway, so I'm taking this same text. It's for Skyrose, and I'm putting it down here for what will actually be Dragonhearth, the other game. And I'm just doing that in a sense to save time, because then I can see what the layout is going to look like and everything. But I can see there's an issue here right already, which is this is indented more than that. So that's problematic to me. So let me see if I close that. So now I've got this layout, where that starts right along with that. Let's see if I add a new column in this layout, if it will look more like that layout up there, which is really what I'm trying to do. So then I can click in here. Let's see, right click, edit column. I'm looking to put my content in here. So text editor. And now I still have that stuff in my paste buffer. Yeah, so you can see that looks like that, which is really what we're going for. Now I can do the same thing over here with the image gallery. I can basically just bring in the Enviro Gallery over here, and then replace it eventually with the new gallery. So copy this, come over here. I got to get in the habit of doing things over here because they don't work as well over there. Plus, using this browser, cut and paste instead of the one from the Elementor. So there's the Enviro Gallery. I'm going to try and remember everything, to do everything right now. Put in this text up here and then say image gallery. And if you want to spice up your page a little bit and make sure you center that, you could move this over here so you've got text and images, and then you have text and images for the second part of that. Okay, other things I need to do, I need to put in, this top part here, and one of these little dividers on top of this, so that we've got that section, right? In addition, I also need to put a section on top of this that would be that would explain wildcourt, right? So and also I just remembered I gotta change this back to Dragonhearth just to, there's some different text for that, but I'll just put Dragonhearth in there as a way to remind me what this is. Okay, so next we go here and we see that this is an H2 tag, and this is probably just a regular piece of text, a text block here, using a default size and an H2 tag and a left alignment. Okay, so let's see if we can make all that happen. So we click text editor, we drag in a text box up there, we type in the text that we want, in this case, Dragon Hearth. And then for the style, let's see, we want default, yes, well, no, let's see, we want H2, and so we got to figure out where the hell that is hiding in this whole slew of things. So let's see, paragraph, here we go. So I can highlight this text, and then I can change this to heading 2, and there it is. It looks good. Okay, and I like to update as I go so that if something weird happens, I can kind of fix it. So the next thing we got to figure out is, like, how the hell do we get this thing in? It looks like it probably is just another little weird text block. But I've never made one of these little crazy lines before, so I'm not really sure. But maybe if I click on it and then look at the style. Okay, so this is just called a divider. Now we got to figure out how the hell that gets put in there. So let's see. It's just a divider everywhere. It says divider, right? So then my assumption would be that somewhere in these little widgets there might be a divider. There it is, right there. Okay, good. All right. So, but once again, there's the whole issue of colors and stuff like that. So here's the color, and we can copy it. And maybe it will be, if you remember, I figured out where the central sort of general area for colors was a couple of videos ago, and put in that color. So hopefully, maybe when we make it, it will just kind of naturally form that color, and that'll save us the trouble of having to paste that in. But we don't know. Let's see. So now we go here, we grab the thing called the divider, and we try to put it right underneath the text. Ooh. So let's see, style. Yeah, it didn't bring my color in, so I'm gonna have to paste my color in. So that's good. At least we got the color. But now we got to get the thickness and the sort of width of it, and we're gonna have to get that from looking at this. So the weight is gonna be 3. So that's gonna be probably make the thickness of it. But then we got to figure out the width, 12. Okay, so width 12, weight 3. Okay, let's click on that. So weight 3. Wow. Okay, it's just going up incrementally. So let me put in the 3 here. Okay, that looks about the right width. And then over here, I'm sorry, the right weight. I believe this was a 12. Right. Okay, so now that looks like that. Although this is uh, much lower than that. It looks like this was put in the same, almost the same box as this. Let's see if that's right. Oh, it's not right. That's very strange. Why that looks like that. I don't know. I suppose I could try and drag it right in the bottom of here and see how that would work out. Let me try that again. Let's see, right there. Yeah, see, that just kind of makes it down here like the last one. So I'm not hip on that. I mean, and I don't think I can hit the enter button and just put it in there. So it's kind of a cluster, if you ask me. Like, why is this happening? Um, it would probably be easier just to copy all this stuff up here and paste it down here and have it be, in the same format. Although, theoretically, we should be able to get this to look like that. So we can click on this one again and see maybe there's something going on here in the margin. Doesn't look like it's being moved up at all. So the gap is 0. Let's see if that's the case with this thing as well. No, it's not. See, the gap is 15. So, once again, it's an experiment, right? You have to figure things out. So the gap here is supposed to be 0. It still doesn't quite look like that one, which is bugging me. So I have to go back here and figure out if there's any other special stuff. So let's see. That's its own text box. That's its own text box. What's weird about it is this. If you look at this, the spacing of this goes down a lot further than that. This is just, right underneath the text. And then this one goes down a lot further, which is bizarre. And I don't know if it's because this H is dropping down, even though it's over here. But it's pretty weird. And these are the kind of weirdnesses that you have to deal with that are a pain in the butt. Now, just for grins, let me update this and preview it and see if maybe it's being nice to us. No, it's not. Oh, this is interesting. I put the image gallery over here, but it's not showing up. Maybe I forgot to paste the environment in there. But anyway, you can see the difference in the gaps here. So that's just a total pain. So a couple things I got to fix here. There should be an environment gallery. There is. Look, there's an environment gallery right there, which is probably exactly the same gallery as this one. And there's nothing wrong with the code. So, what's your deal, Schlemiel? Maybe there's probably something in the code that disallows the same gallery from being on here twice. So I'll probably have to make a new gallery. I mean, I'm gonna have to make a new gallery eventually anyway. But this will, this will sort of prompt me to make the new gallery, stick it in here, because obviously it's not. There's something that's not letting the same gallery be on the same page twice. Okay, but now back to this little crazy a divider thing. And this kind of stuff can drive you nuts, especially if you're sort of anal retentive or whatever. You're trying to get everything that just look perfect. Okay, so let's see what we can do. Okay, so I think what I'm going to do is copy this section and paste it down here, and then just retype the text, because for whatever reason, when I made this, it just has too much space at the bottom. So these are the kind of problems you can run into. So one of the things you can do, you can right click on this thing here, this section, and just copy it. And then you can go in here and let's see, it's kind of hard to find where you're going to do this, but you can just hit paste and it's just going to put that wherever it wants to. In this case, it just put it down here. Now you can also move things. You can drag things. Like I can drag this divider down below there. And now you can see that the spacing between this divider and this is the same as that. So then if I go in here and change the text, and it's a shame that you have to do stuff like this, but such is life, right? Sometimes you have to mess around with things a little bit. And you can see already this looks great, compared to that looks just like that compared to this thing which doesn't work at all, right? So I can right click on this section and delete it. I can see if it'll be nice and let me drag this thing down. Doesn't look like it's going to be nice, so I'll cut this. Oops, I guess I didn't get it all. Okay, cut, right? And then I can delete this section. Okay, so now that's looking good. If I grab in a new text, drag a new text block in underneath here. Come on, don't be mean. Why? You might ask yourself why. Oh, that was let's see. Well, not there. I want it to be under the drive. Oh, there it was. Boom. Oh no. This one looks like it's going to be different spacing than that. Oh my God. What a nightmare. I can't even believe it. Such a pain. I cannot get over it. We're going to have to delete this. So let's see. This is all just one big section. And there's the divider. And then I just drag that in under it. And it looks like it started. Oh, maybe it started in the same place, which is a little bit right under there. Maybe there's just an extra space in here. Let me see if that's the case. No, I can't go any further. Maybe it just starts a little further down. So let me do Command Z. Oh, it's not going to let me do it. Let's try again, and this time I'll actually put the text in and see what happens. Wow, it's just so ridiculously difficult. Okay, yeah. So paste that in. It's so weird. Like, you see how this has an extra space up here and this doesn't? Like, why? Why? That goes up to the top like that. That looks like it starts in the same place, and yet the spacing is different. So weird and unnecessary. Okay. So what are my options? Well, I can try putting an extra space in here and see how that works out. So when you're looking at your text here, if you go over to what's called the text area, it will allow you to put HTML code in. So for example, I could put in what's called a break tag, which is just BR. And what that does is it pushes this down a little bit. And that kind of looks right, actually, now. Looks like sort of a similar amount of spacing between each of those. So I'm going to hit update on that. Yeah, I know this is a pain, but you have to monkey around and go through all these things to make things work. Okay, now let's see. I want to put in a placeholder, and I think today we'll just do the placeholder stuff, and then in the next class or the next video, I'll go in and put in the actual content I'm going to put in. So let's see. I know that I want another big piece of text up here, but I think I want this to go across 2 columns, and this is going to be the wildcard text. So that defines that. So let's see. Okay, if we come down here, let's see. What is this area here? Well, I guess that's this whole section here is being defined by this right here. So if I click the plus, yeah, it's going to put a new section in here, which is what we want, and then we'll drag the text editor in there, right? And we definitely want to put, first of all, we want to put something up there that says wildcard, and then we want to put the text in underneath that says everything else. So okay, so the first thing we can do is call this wildcard, and then highlight that. Whoa, weirdness. Okay, hello. I don't know why weirdness is happening. Okay, H2, that's what that is. And I think I kind of want this to be a little different. I don't know. Maybe that goes in the center there, so it looks a little different. And then maybe the line's not there. I don't know. I can always bring the line in later. But then if I want to put a new section under this, I hit the plus symbol. Oops. I actually want to go under it. So let me undo that. Oops. Okay, let's see. I want to delete this section. Okay, good. So let's see. If I hit the plus, I thought I was going to make, wow, this is weird. Everything just goes south sometimes. You don't understand why that is. Okay, I'm trying to get it centered, and it's just not obeying my commands. Okay, there it is. Wow, weirdness. Maybe it's here. Maybe I click the plus here, and then it makes a space above it. Yeah, okay. Just it takes a little getting used to. Okay, here's another text box, right? And then, I know I'm using this text for everything, but once again, it's just, oh yeah, I got to remember to do this, copy, and then I got to remember to use this paste. Okay, so that's explaining what wildcard is, and then you go down here and you see the different games. So Skyrose, and then the image gallery, and then Dragonhearth, right? Okay, so I'm going to make another fake image gallery real quick to stick in here as a placeholder, and then we have to add the contact form down here. Well, we have to add a link to the convention and a link to and then a contact form so people can just sign up. So let's see, to make a new gallery, let me go to one of these other pages here and log in to the dashboard. And let me go to, let's see, this is the Envira gallery, I think, is down lower. By the way, one of the things that you can do, if you've added a bunch of different plugins and stuff, you can always turn those off, turn those plugins off. So I've decided to use the Envira gallery, and I put in at least three gallery plugins, right? So one of them was Next Gen Gallery, and so I can deactivate that. I can skip their little. I'm trying to skip their little thing here. Okay. They have a little poll that they're doing, but I don't care to do it. Okay, and then one was called Modula, which I can deactivate. And you can just deactivate these instead of uninstalling them. If you're sure you're never going to use them again, you can uninstall them. But if you deactivate them, you always have the option to turn them back on. So I turned those two off. The fourth gallery that we used was just the default Elementor gallery, so I'm not going to worry about that. But here's the Envira gallery. I can add a new one, and once again, I'm just basically making a placeholder gallery, which I'm going to fill up with good stuff later. So let's see, select files from other sources, media library. I'm just going to do this thing again where I get these four things just because it's easy. Insert in a gallery. There they are. I'm going to publish this gallery, which is going to give me the shortcode somewhere here. Oh, I guess I never really named the gallery, so I guess I'll call this Dragon Hearth and update it. And that way this little shortcode here will say the name of the gallery, which I find helpful. Well, or it won't. I guess because I didn't name it the first time, it just puts in this thing called slug, or, if I had named it the first time, it would have said Dragon Hearth or whatever here, but oh well, my bad. So now I can just copy this shortcode here by clicking on the little clipboard. I can jump over to one of my little plugins here. Okay, now this is showing the old gallery, which was that one up there. So now let's see if I paste this in, if it'll put the right one in. Oh my God, it's so annoying. I can't get over how bad you know, it just doesn't, it's not copying anything. It's killing me. Okay, anyway, we'll copy it with that. I should know better by now, but I don't clearly. All right, just have to use the browser because the copying in here just isn't working. Uh, okay, so see that changed to a different number, 637. So now if I update that and I go look at my preview, okay, so obviously we can put some more spacing in there. We can put a picture in here or whatever, but the top section talks about the gaming system itself. Obviously we have to get rid of the spacing. Then we go into the two specific games. Whoa, that's so weird. This is exactly the same gallery as that, and yet this one is huge and that one's not. So who knows? There was probably some kind of thumbnail setting where I said I wanted small thumbnails, and this one just picked big thumbnails. I don't know, but these were supposed to be the same. But you can see all the things that can go south on you. And at this point, once again, I'm just trying to put in placeholder content and move everything around, and then I can put in the final content. Now, you may be someone who likes to put in the final content right away instead of this placeholder stuff, which is fine. That's a great way to work. Okay, but like I said, I'm just going to do one more thing here, two more things. Put in a link to the convention, and then a contact form. So, all right, so we'll go down here. We've got, we'll add in a new text block here, and we'll just say, this is a link to the convention. Okay, and then I have the convention right here. So, let's see, Con of Champions. I'll just, for grins, just put this link in right away. Let's see, link. And of course, I'd probably want to link to the specific page that has, in fact, I probably want to take this out of here and put it into the specific text for these games. So I could do something like say, okay, edit, paste, whoa. Of course, it pastes my link in. All right, I guess I have to remember to do this the correct way. Okay, highlight that, copy it up here, click here, come down so we can make a new paragraph down here, and then use this paste up here. Okay, and I'll say something like click the following link to sign up to play Dragonhearth free at the online Con of Champions convention, right? And that's good enough for now. I can always fix that text later. Okay, copy, and then we're going to go up here, do the same thing. Remember to use this paste up here, and then of course this one will change to Skyrose. And of course that link's going to the same place right now, but I have to update that. Okay. So I can hit the update button, make sure that stuff doesn't go anywhere. And then this doesn't have to be here anymore. So this is where my contact form can go. So I can say, fill out the contact form below if you would like to be be notified when there are more opportunities to play these games. Okay, and opportunities is misspelled. Opportunities. Okay. All right. So I think that what I'll do, I'll try dropping the contact form in right here and see how that works out. And of course, I'll hit update here, so I'm ready to go. That now, for the contact form, I believe that there's a contact form in here already. If I go into plugins and install plugins, and I think it might be called WP Contact. Yeah, WP Forms Lite will create a contact form for you. Now I'm used to using a different contact form software. I use something called Contact Form 7, but what the heck? Let's just try this out. How bad can it be? So we just click. Let's see. Let's look in here. Let's see what forms exist already. Oh, we haven't made any forms yet. So, well, there you go. So let's click Add New. Select a simple contact form. Create a simple contact form. Okay, and that's it. That's what we want. I really don't want to change anything about this. I just want it to exist. Okay, so then we just hit save. Like I said, this is my first time using this thing, so I'm just kind of trying to figure it out like you guys. Okay, that all exists. I don't even know how to scroll down. Oh, I guess I do that here. And so this thing exists, but it's not very friendly. Okay, let's look at this embed code. There we go. So now what you want to do is you want to highlight this embed code, copy that, and then you go back to your page here. And like I said, I'm going to try and paste this in here and hope that it will work out. If not, I can always put it in its own little section down here. And that short code there should generate the contact form that we just saw. It should just populate the page here. So let's see. So once again, lots of stuff that needs to be fixed, but there you go. There's a contact form. Okay. So we've completed the first part of our task, which is, we updated the logo, so now we're focusing on the gaming system because we have more than one game. Changed the name of this section to games. We made the link still goes here, by the way, the link from the homepage. And then, our idea is that we're going to put our value proposition up here, telling people why they want to play the gaming system. We're going to talk about each game and have different image galleries for each game. And then we're going to have links where they can sign up to play the games at the convention. And then here, another conversion we want to make is to get people to sign up for our email list so they can find out more about the games in the future. So I think that's good. I think we have basically the essential layout that we want, and now we have to go in and fix things, fix spacing and galleries and stuff like that. Uh, Update all the text, update all the links, make sure everything works. Test this form out, make sure it works. If I want to, I can get rid of things like, I don't know that this comment or message box needs to be here. I don't know that first and last name needs to be asked for. You can just put email address. You tend to get more results if you just ask for simpler things. But of course, if you have the first and last name, that's nice because you can send an email out addressing the person by their first name. So lots of decisions to be made, but in general, I'm happy with what we got, which is the basic layout here for our landing page. Okay, as I said, that's what we're going to do today. Next video, we'll go ahead and spruce this up and see if we can make a good landing page here. We'll also, of course, be consulting this article here and following their advice to make this a quality landing page. Okay, so please continue to work on your websites. If you have any questions or problems when working on them, let me know. And I hope you have a great weekend, and I will talk to you again on Monday. Thanks.